Hey friends, how you all doing? And here I am, live tonight, Saturday the 8th of September, as promised. Hope you're well. Hey, Paramedico PO brother, Lance Moss. Thanks, Lance, for coming along and modding this one. And Barefoot Mode. G'day. Really nice to see you all. So, yeah, it's been ages, and I know I've been promising this live stream for a long time, but things have been a little bit hectic, to say the least. Hey, James, nice to see you, and Daniel, nice to see you too, and hi to Like a Kite as well. Let us know where you're from, folks. Sugar Matt, hey, how you doing? Good to see you. And Pete, my good buddy Pete over there in New Zealand. Hey mate, it's good to see you, and well, good to speak to you, and just been chatting to you before I came online. It's really nice now to get on and do this live broadcast. So I hope you all were pleased with Somerset UK. Cool, James, excellent. Kia ora, Sugar Matt. I hope that you enjoyed the video yesterday and that you are surprised and pleased as I am with the news that I announced on the video yesterday. And oh, hello, we've got California, hey, JJ's House of Jams, and Strat Hippie from North Carolina, hey, how you doing? And Daniel Castillo from Texas, really good to see you all in. Thanks so much for coming in tonight. So the idea for tonight is just to literally give you a chance to get involved and, you know, to reciprocate the fact that you guys have all been so supportive of this channel. And yeah, I really do appreciate what you've done. So I want to get some questions for you, or from you, for me to take to Guitcon. In fact, it's exactly a month today. On the 8th of October, I will be there. Barefoot Mode, you're an Aussie, but you're in Nevada. Cool, excellent. And hey, 123 Kelly Gibson, good to see you. So yeah, it's a first opportunity to give you guys a chance to maybe put some questions forward for the Guitcon, and also to give me some ideas for videos to make while I'm out there, because I think it's really important that you guys get involved in that. We've got Blues Player 59. How you doing? Good to see you, my friend. And here's to you all. It's Saturday night over here, and Pete will appreciate this. I'm enjoying a London Pride, so cheers to all of you, and here's to Guitcon next month. So, Lance says, cool, Guitcon starts on my mum's birthday. Awesome, cool. And Paramedico says, I want to go, but I'm not a fan of travelling on my own. 123 Kelly Gibson. So what are you changing the name to? Yes, I will be announcing that tonight. In fact, I'm going to do that within the first 10 minutes or so, just to get it out of the way, because I've been putting it off. Pete's enjoying a cup of tea. I'm not surprised. It's probably about 9 o'clock in the morning over there in New Zealand. Can you hear this okay? Because I was doing a test earlier and my voice didn't sync up particularly brilliantly with the mic. Is it all coming across in sync and in time? Daniel, while I'm asking for that, is what are your thoughts on Squire Strats, Epiphone? Thank you, Paramedic CPO. Appreciate that. Yeah, so Daniel, what are my thoughts on Squire Strats and inexpensive Epiphone models? Yeah, thanks guys, it's great. Thanks for letting me know it's all coming out good. I think, considering that I look at a lot of budget range guitars, and that's kind of becoming a bit more of the focus of my channel, although not exclusively, I think that the Squires, particularly perhaps the Squire Bullet and some of the older Squires, particularly obviously the Japanese, which everybody appreciates, I think they're really good value. And I think that they hold their value as well, and they also stand the test of time. They're well-made bits of kit. The Epiphone inexpensive models, I will be honest, I've only tried a few, but my buddy Ray swears by his. He loves it. and I think, and that's the guy that I gave Greenie Moore to, and he certainly plays his Epiphone over Greenie Moore. So yeah, what do we got? Sound loud and clear. That's brilliant. Right, Barefoot Mode says he's got an Epi Black Beauty. Love the beast. Yeah, and that's exactly what Ray's got. And I have to say, he sounds great. He's done a bit of studio work recently with a singer that we both used to work with, a guy called Rick. And the guitar sound he's got is absolutely awesome. So yeah, I think there is really no need to spend an absolute fortune on guitars, and the Squiers and the Epiphones do really represent excellent value. So that's my answer to that, Daniel. So yeah, cool. And Pete's Pete's saying try a PCN. Pete's making his own guitars. You've seen them on my channel. You saw me when I went out to New Zealand and met up with Pete and did a review on his number 3 guitar, which is absolutely beautiful. It's a Telecaster, and Pete, you'll correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think there's all sorts of exotic woods. There's eucalyptus, and I can't remember all the others, but go and check out that video. Pete's making lots of guitars, and actually I meant to tell you, Pete, earlier on when I was speaking to you, I also went to a local guitar store yesterday, and I met up with this local luthier, and I'm going to try and get him to come along and do some stuff on his guitars, because these LT guitars, locally built and really very good. I went along and had a bit of a look and a play with those yesterday, and I think you'll all be really interested in that. Let's have a look. Awesome, thanks for answering my question. Your channel's been a really great source of information. Thanks, Daniel, that's really appreciated, mate. I am incredibly fortunate on this channel in that I've got such a supportive bunch of subscribers, especially considering that I'm pretty harsh when it comes to reviewing every single comment that goes on the channel myself. I think I've probably lost out on subscribers because I don't just let every single comment through. I avoid all of that nonsense, all the dodgy stuff. I want this to be a place that my kids can come and see me in years to come and not find a load of bad language and stuff like that. Blues Player 59, it's wise to buy the Harley Benton 35 and not the 35 Plus. Just spend the money you save towards a pair of Seymour Duncans. Love the look of the HB 35S. Yeah, I have to say, Pete, funny enough, in New Zealand has got the HB35 that I bought and demoed on this channel, but that was one of my favourite Harley Bentons so far. In fact, it probably was my favourite, with the only exception of the CST24, the green one over there, which is a really incredible guitar and so versatile with the push-pull coil splits. So yeah, definitely. Good call, Blues Player. Definitely would go for the Harley Benton. Recommend the HB35. And I recommend Harley Benton in general as it goes. And certainly that was one of the reasons that I've put Milton guitars on the back burner, because the whole concept, as you all know, about Milton guitars was me trying to give you an alternative to buying the Chinese fakes, which we all disapprove of. But Harley Benton just absolutely fill that gap at the moment. The guitars that they're building and the quality control standards seem to be pretty okay. I don't want to vouch for them completely because I have heard a few horror stories. I don't know if you guys have, but they seem to be pretty good. Let's have a look while I have a little swig. Just received a D'Angelico from Toman. Oh, very bad experience. That's not cool. That's not cool, Paramedic. That's really bad news. And I'm glad, by the way, that you're around tonight. I'm in touch with Paramedic, and we're doing a couple of little collabs together, hopefully soon. And it's just nice to know that you're not working on a Saturday night, because here's to you, my brother, because you are doing a great service. He is actually a paramedic. So here's to you, mate. Let's have a look. Hey Dale, good to see you, mate. Hi CGS, there's plenty of reasonably priced guitars by reputable companies, selling more consistent quality than the fakes from China. Yeah, totally. Couldn't agree with you more. And that's a really good reason, again, not to bother buying the that rubbish. Anyway, we are digressing. This channel is no longer just about Chinese guitars. I hope that you guys and girls are enjoying the new sort of direction of the content that I'm taking, and it certainly seems to be quite popular, although recently I've had a few issues with my videos getting listed. Some people that are subscribed and have clicked that bell icon are saying that they've had difficulty getting notifications of my videos. Have any of you had that issue? Because it'd be good to know. It'd be good to know. What do we got? I have a vintage Icon V6 distressed, and it's amazing for the price. Cool, cool. Hugh Caldwell, hi. Revelation, makes some great guitars for the money. And Paramedico, wish I had the Harley Benton Fusion roasted like I first wanted. Yeah, that looks really nice. James, I got a Harley Benton SC 550. Yeah, what's the 550 like, buddy? I've got the 450, which is the slightly cheaper model. I'm quite interested to try one of the 550s, and maybe I'll get chance next month. I think I would go for an HB Dynamic. They look awesome. Yeah. Blues Player's sold. He's gonna buy one. Greetings from Nottingham. Love your channel as always, mate. When's the podcaster coming back to be finished? Ah, you do it to me every time, you guys. You embarrass me every single time. I've not got on with that, have I? I know. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to box that up and ship it out to Pete in New Zealand and get him to finish it, because I'm just embarrassed every time we bring it up. No, it's still over there, and it's still in the same shape it was when I did the latest video on it, which was the freebie decal thing for the headstock. So no, I haven't had the chance. To be fair, if you saw my video yesterday announcing Guitcon, you'll have seen all the nonsense that I've been up to. So yeah, I've been very, very busy. Let's have a look. Daniel, what do you think is best for a guitar bridge? Locking trems or regular, and or finally stop tail like a Les Paul? Oops. Also string through body ones. Right, well that's very much a personal preference. I also like to use a whammy bar, so it's quite a tricky one. Obviously you get quite good transfer of the resonance through with a string through body or with a fixed bridge, particularly if it's nicely seated, but definitely I've found that locking tuners, and also staggered locking tuners if you've got a straight flat headstock rather than one with a break angle, the staggered tuners but with locking tuners, a decent set, are very good, and you want a decent, very slippery nut. And then really the bridge should stay in tune if it's halfway decent. I really like the Wilkinson that I've got on the Milton guitars, and I'm not quite sure what Wilkinson model it is. Let me go and grab that, hang on. There we go. I don't know if you can see that. Hopefully you can see that. But that Wilkinson bridge is really nice, and it stays in tune brilliantly. Yeah, so I would thoroughly recommend that. And of course, if you're not looking for a trem, then definitely a fixed stop tail. I think the PRS intonated stop tails are pretty solid, because they're all one piece rather than having two bits with the ABR type bridge that can maybe wiggle and jiggle about and spoil your tuning. I think that's pretty good. And also, yeah, the string through, it's always a good call. Yes, mate, appreciate that. I'm working on our project. Good man, thanks, Paramedico. And up at 4 AM for work. Oh, mate, I do feel for you, and you are out there doing us all a service, so thanks, my friend. JC, good evening. Hey, how you doing? Happy with LTD guitars. I have an EC256 made in Vietnam, and it's really well made. Good, cool. Right, that's good to know. Thanks, Barefoot. It's good to know that some of you at least are getting notified of my videos, because it'd be a shame if you weren't. Notifications are fine here as well. That's cool. What do we got? Do you own a Helix or any other multi-effects pedal? I have a Helix floor and it's good fun. No time to learn all its features. Yeah, I've got a Boss GT100, and I've done a demo or a couple of demos on that. I've also done a couple of private video tuition videos helping some people out, just to show them how you can program it. And yeah, I don't really use them. I'm more of a straight through the amp type guy, although I've really enjoyed demoing the stuff from Sonic Cake and also Hot Tone. Oh, by the way, I didn't say anything about it yesterday. What do you think about my new little setup behind me? I've moved the drum kit centrally. I've also made that a little bit easier to use. And I've stuck the Carlsbro and the Vox down there at the other end. They're my little temporary makeshift bass traps, because I still haven't got round to soundproofing, or not soundproofing, let's say sound absorption in the studio here. And so sort of there a bit. Thank you. Looks mint. Cool. Nice guitar, love the colour. Oh, right, we're going back to the Milton third prototype there. Bought a Harley Benton SC450 Plus recently and fitted some Tone Rider Alnico 4s, classic PAFs. Patent applied for. Yeah, have you tried these pickups before? No, I haven't, but I've heard really good things about them. I've got a couple of iron gears that Dave Barlow, my buddy that's going to the UK Guitar Show, we'll talk about that in a minute, with me, and he gave me a couple of those. And I also have a set of Tesla Sharks from Iron Gear in Mitzi, and I think they're great, but I would like to try the Tone Riders. What do you think of them, Paul? How many guitars you got, and have you got a USA PRS? Right, I have got around 30 guitars, and no, I don't yet, and I stress the yes, have a US PRS. But I have been keeping an eye out for one for many years. I think that Paul, I've said this so many times, it's getting old for those of you that have seen the channel for a while, but I absolutely think Paul Reed Smith have got it spot on, and I'm very keen to look for a US made custom 24. And what's more, I may well have chance to play a few at Guitcon. Not saying anything more than that, because I think the missus is watching, and if she finds out how much a US PRS costs, I don't think she'll be too happy. You're marooned on a desert island. You strangely have a power supply and an amp. You can have just one guitar. What would it be? What is this got to be one of mine, or can this be any guitar in the history of guitar? Now there's the question, Blues Player 59. Maybe if you want to clarify that, I'll answer that question. Mike G, hi, how you doing? Evening all. Is Phil X going to be at Guitcon? I can't tell you, because I have been given a list of everybody that's going to Guitcon, but a lot of people have not announced on their YouTube channel yet, and I think it would be a bit off of me to say who was going and who wasn't before they've announced it themselves. I wouldn't like it if it happened to me, and so I'm not going to say anything just yet, but all I can say is I think, well, I know full well that I'm really excited about the lineup this year, and I think you guys are going to be when you hear it as well. But we'll wait and see, and I'm sure everybody else is going to announce pretty soon, because the organisers of the event emailed us probably a couple of weeks ago now, just to give us the full list of who was going, and said in that to make a video soon letting people know that we're going. And so I only just got round to that yesterday, which I feel pretty bad about. So I apologise to Framus and Warwick and the organisers of Guitcon. It's taken me a bit of time to get round to it, but I got there, and I can't begin to tell you how excited I am about going. It's going to be just... I'm a bit nervous because I am probably the smallest or second smallest channel going, and I'll be rubbing shoulders with some giants there. So yeah, it's going to be good fun, but a little bit nervous perhaps. Yeah. Very nice. Far as the nut goes on next, which is best, bone, brass, graphite, and or just a locking one? Right. Nut and bridge material make a difference, quite a significant difference when it comes to sustain, in my opinion. I always find that brass and bone nuts tend to be a bit brighter. Graphite and tusk tend to sit somewhere in the middle, and plastic tends to be quite dead and loses a lot of harmonic resonance and range. So that's my thoughts on it. I'm not saying I'm right. That's just my opinion. Hi, let's have a look who we got. What do you think about rolling nut from Fender? Yes, I've got one of those. Have I? I'm not sure I have. No, I played one of those when I was trying out the one that I did the Floral Poi video on, the US Strat that I've got, the Buddy Holly reissue 50th anniversary. But I don't think that's a roller nut on that. But they are very good. And I think roller bridges and nuts. Now, I would only use a roller nut if I had locking tuners, because you want it to be very, very loose and everything to run right to the tuner. I wouldn't use a roller nut with non-locking tuners. So that's my two penneth on that. Lance Moss says, what are those two orange amp heads on top of the Marshall head? Well, I've demoed both of them, buddy, on the channel. One's a Tiny Terror, the white one, and I was rehearsing with one of those with my band at the local rehearsal studio and absolutely fell in love with it, so I had to buy one. And I bought it around the same time as I bought the Harley Benton Tuba 12 over there as well. And they were Guitar's two biggest secrets. I think that was the video name that I put out there for that one. And the Dark Terror, which is the dark one, funny enough, is an absolutely outstanding amp. It's really, really, I mean, it's heavy. And although having said that, I used it in the pit on a pantomime. So what can I say? I love them, both of them. My USA PRS Studio is the best I've ever played. That's wicked, mate. Absolutely wicked. Yeah, I think I've... Did you do a video on that? Or playing it? I think you did. I've got Tone Riders on one of my tellies. They're not too bad. Okay, right, cool. Mike G says, looks like Tiny Terror and Dark Terror, Lance. Yeah, you're right, Mike. And there you go, Lance. Both of them have answered that one for you. Have I got a favourite guitar in my collection? Okay, is that the... That's not the Desert Island question. So, at the moment, I'm always chopping and changing my favourite guitar, but you can probably tell by the amount of times I play it on videos that my current favourite guitar is this one. The PRS SE Custom 24. It's a limited edition with maple neck, and you've probably all seen this on pretty much every video I've done in the last few months. Oh, it's a bit dirty. Hadn't noticed that. I polish it regularly. But this I love. This is one of the reasons that I love it. The versatility of the coil split. And it's the same thing with the Harley Benton CST 24. I love that for the same reason. But this plays like a dream. It's a 25-inch scale length, which I think is by far and away the perfect scale length. The pickups on this are incredible. They're very expressive, especially throughout the range of the volume and the tone. They're not sharp anywhere. They don't jump from one tone to another when you gradiate the tone, and the same with the volume. It's very, very smooth, and it plays like butter. I love this. higher action than most people like, because I don't know if you can see that, I actually raised the action on this. Yeah, I like quite a high action, so I actually raised the action on that and then had a reset up at my preferred action, which is between 1 and 2 millimeters at the 12th fret, which is high for most people. So that's my favourite at the moment, and probably Blues Player 59 if I was stranded on a desert island right at this point in time and I could only take one of my guitars, that would probably be it. But I'm still trying to think what my all-time guitar from anywhere, from anybody might be. What do you think about that, folks? What do we got? Tone Riders are very harmonic and very clear, excellent pickups. The guitar seems to sustain better too, but not sure if that's the pickups. Yeah, pickups have an influence, a huge influence. I haven't entered the TW debate. I'm not going to go any further than that. I think that everything can minutely affect the tone of a guitar. But the most important thing that affects the tone of a guitar are these and this. It's what comes from within, and that's the important bit. So yeah, there we go. But yeah, glad that they do sustain nicely. Yes, okay, Blues Player 59, you have clarified. Yeah, I guess what I was asking is, what one guitar would you love to own? E.g. Hendrix Strat, Page's Joe Walsh Les Paul. No, I think, given what you know about me, I would, even though I'm not a big Les Paul fan, I probably wouldn't mind owning Greenie Moore, the original, just simply because of the history of that guitar and who's played it and what's been played on it. I think that would be a great guitar to own. Thanks for answering my questions. As always, you're a plethora. I'll have another sip of this, I think. You're a plethora of insight on the never-ending query of guitar info. Yeah, it's great. I'm only offering you my opinion. I can't guarantee that my opinion is best or right. It's just my opinion, and for what it's worth, I'm glad you really appreciate it. Thanks, Daniel. Locking Nut said, nice guitar, bro. Thanks, buddy. By the way, amazing collection of guitars. Thank you. This is just the stuff that I've reviewed, and I've kept the stuff for the CGS channel out here. I haven't got any of my other collection out here, and at some stage when I get time, I do want to do a few videos on some of the other guitars I've got. I promised Dave Barlow that we would do a pointy headstock session where I can get the Jackson out and the Charvel Model 3DR that I've got, both of which I love. Real great. One's an 80s, the 3DR's an 80s Charvel with the old style logo, and the Jackson is a 90s Jackson, early 90s Jackson. So yeah, I'm going to get a few of those out. You've seen a few of my Strats, you've seen the Brian May guitar, you've seen a fair few of the acoustics. Yeah, quite a lot, quite a lot. Have you played one? There you go, James. I said it before you brought it up. Yes, I've got a BM1, and it's I think it's a Guild made one. I'm trying to remember. I bought it a long time ago. I'll check that out. I'll get that out again and do another demo of it, actually. That'd be good. Be good to try that with the Hot Tone, the Britwind, because it'd be nice to hear what that sounds like through the Britwind's idea of an AC30. Thanks again, everybody, for your feedback on that video and on all the Sonic Ache ones. I hope you didn't mind the latest, the Black Hammer one. It was a little bit heavy, I know, but I enjoyed it. Who's your favourite guitar player of all time? Well, I've got a few, as most of us have, but if I had to pick one, and they go in and out of favour, but I would have to say probably Gary Moore, Eric Clapton, Randy Rhoads, Eddie Van Halen, Brian May. Good Lord. There's so many. And I sort of alternate. I went through a stage in the 90s of being absolutely besotted with Nuno Bettencourt from Extreme and Vito Bratta from White Lion. I thought that their playing was unique, and that's what I think we all strive for as guitar players. We strive to find that something that's different to everybody else and that's unique, and I think both of those guys got that. Nuno's still around and doing stuff. Unfortunately, Vito's retired now, and I was looking up videos about him just the other day and couldn't find anything about him lately. So I think he's properly retired out of the circuit. Give the bloke some thumbs up for his efforts, mates. I think that's aimed at me, is it? Thank you, if it is. If it's not, I'm embarrassed. That PRS is beautiful. Thanks, JC. Appreciate that. Thank you. James, have you played one of the Brian Mate? We've done that one. Great channel. Keep it up. Thank you, Design H Studio. Appreciate that. That's really kind of you. Hugh Caldwell, what strings do you use? Easy to answer. I use Diodario EXL 125 10Ps, which are a hybrid set. They're heavy on the tops and light on the bottoms, so they're 9 to 46s. That's what I use. And I've used a hybrid set like that, in fact that exact set, for the last 20 years. So yeah, a bit of a creature of habit there. So that's what I play. Ed Dana, hey Ed, how you doing, my friend? Just got home. Nice to see you, man. Real cool to see you. What was my first guitar? Well, that's very, very easy. My first guitar was the Vox that I play on Dave's in Texas intro. On that, the bit where the train comes across, I recorded that, wrote that and recorded it for Dave's in Texas, my good friend. And that guitar that I play on that is a 1960s Vox. It's a copy of a Gibson ES335, and it belonged to my godfather, the Irishman. And he gave it to me. I always used to go down and get it out of the box and just play with the strings. I didn't know how to play, but I was always intrigued with it. And I think I was about 11 or 12, and he just gave it to me. And that was my first guitar. I didn't play it for ages. I was a piano player at that point. And then my folks got me an Aria RS Wildcat, Aria Pro 2 RS Wildcat for my 14th Christmas present. And that's what I really started playing on. And I've still got that guitar. I'll show you that as well some point, so hopefully you'd like to see that. So they were my first guitars. Chris Lawton says, love the channel. Have you ever tried any of the Joyo pedals? Great Chinese made pedals for reasonable prices. My favourite is the Sweet Baby Overdrive. Well, actually, you probably gathered from the Sonic Cake stuff and from the Hot Tone that I am being contacted by a few Chinese manufacturers. And if Joyo get in touch with me, I'm really keen to demo any kit that's really good value for you guys, my subs. I just want to give you the best inside line on what these things do. So I'd be really interested. I'm glad that you like them, Chris. And the Sweet Baby Overdrive, yeah, might give that a try at some point. Thanks for the heads up. Daniel says, which amp do you think is the best for contemporary playing style to classic rock? I have to say that the orange Tiny Terror is an incredibly versatile amp, a really, really versatile amp. But there are so many different variables and so many different voicings to amps and amp heads, and even of the same model and make. Amps can sound very different depending on how they're looked after, whether if they're valve heads, if they're looked after and regularly biased, if they are solid state, they can sound very different. But I think if you're looking for something that's really versatile, I've been really impressed with the the Tiny Terror, the white one behind me. That's a good amp. It's got a good range of tones. It can do everything from clean through breakup to really good distortion. And I think if you chuck an overdrive pedal in front of it, or a distortion pedal or something like that, and a bit of compression, it could quite easily stretch all the way to metal as well. In fact, if you saw my Black Hammer video with the Sonic 8 Black Hammer, then you'll probably realise that that old Marshall Lead 100, the thin Marshall amp over there, which is probably the cleanest amp I've ever played. And when I bought it, I was so disappointed because I was desperate to get a rock out heavy sound at that stage. I was a real rocker, and it turned up, I bought it for, I think I bought it for 60 quid back in the 80s, and I plugged it in straight in with the guitar and through a 4x12, and it was the cleanest amp I have ever heard, and still is the cleanest amp. You can turn it right up and it will not break up. So yeah, it depends what you're after, but certainly adding pedals in front will easily make you make it versatile enough to do anything with. But go have a try them out. That's the best thing to do. I've been asked by Hughes and Kettner to do a video with them in October, so I'll bring you some news about that as well. Let's have a look. Has anyone played or owned PRS Bernie Marsden? Now there's another player who I have a huge amount of respect for. Great player. And I'm guessing that his PRS will be as good as people say, like a kite. Dale, I've thought about getting a hybrid set like those. It's well worth a try. They're nice and thick on the bottom end. The strings, the Diodario strings are really nice. And just having a slightly heavier gauge on the bottom gives that nice thick sound, and then thins out nicely, but also makes it easy to bend on the top by having 9s rather than 10s. What else have we got? Hey, Kim's Workshop, hi from Denmark. Nice to see you, my friend. Thanks for tuning in. My guitar, I use Orange Jewel Terror. It's fabulous. Yeah, cool. Is that the equivalent of having both of those heads in one, or is that the Jim Root? I can't remember. But yeah, Jewel Terror, great stuff. It's getting hot out here. Hello everyone. Hey, China Guitar Skeptic. What's your favourite humbucker pickup? Hi, Johnny Bean. Favourite humbucker, anything that's a PAF. I had a guitar that I built in the late 80s that we called Bastard. And is that the first time I've ever sworn on this channel? Possibly is. And that I built from a bar, and literally a bar serving alcoholic drinks. And they were refurbing it, and there was a big, thick bit of mahogany bar top, and I borrowed it out of the skip. I did ask permission, and I was given it. And I cut that into like a super strat shape, and I put an old Westone Pantera graphite neck on it, and I had Kayla locking nut and a Floyd Rose trem and one pickup a la Phil X and Van Halen, and that sounded awesome. And that was a Damasio PAF Pro, and I loved that pickup, and it's been a long time. I've been meaning to try another PAF Pro for a long time. Definitely recommend those Damasios, and I do really, really like the iron gears, so check those out. I have an Aria Pro 2 RS Night Warrior. Excellent, cool, Hugh. Yeah, the Aria in their day, back in the 80s and 90s, were a great option on guitars. I was umming and ahhing between that and a Squier Strat at the time, and the fact that it was humbucker single coil with a coil tap for the humbucker was a no-brainer for me, because the Strat was just 3 straight single coils, and it just gave me that versatility, and with the humbucker in the bridge as a bit of a metalhead, made the decision easy for me. But they're really great guitars, aren't they? Blues Player, do you think the valve transistor issue has become less of an issue than it once was? Definitely. I totally. The thing that convinced me of that most recently has been the amp and cabinet simulator on the Sonic 8 gear. I didn't, on the reviews, pass any comment over what I felt about them, because they were sent to me for free, and I didn't want to promote them or be seen to promote them. I wanted you guys to make the comments. But yeah, I was really impressed with that. Really impressed with that. So yeah, I think there's a much less of a gap that, than there once was. Yeah, it's amazing but heavy. Yes, it is. Jamal Kareem, hello from Texas. Hey, mate. All right. Congratulations to you on going to Guitcon 18. Thank you so much. I have to say, I am really, really excited. A little bit nervous, but really, really excited. And I think I'm this nervous and this excited. It's going to be well cool. Hello, mate. Greetings from New South Wales. Good morning. What do you think of Laney amps? Well, I've got an old Laney linebacker still in the garage. In fact, I didn't bring it out here because it is so tatty and there's just no space to stack it up with everything else going on behind me. But I've still got an old Laney linebacker, and it was my main amp for a long, long time until, in fact, I got the Marshall 2210 here. That was my main amp and I played it all the time. I think Laney are good. More recently, I've no idea because I haven't played one since, but they were great back then, and it had a really nice distortion channel on it. Theme coming up here. What effects pedals do you prefer and use? Also, do you like using a wah-wah pedal while playing a show? Yeah, when I'm playing live, I use... this little beauty. I don't know if you can see that. Let's have a look. It's a Jim Dunlop original Crybaby Wah-Wah. The only problem with these is they colour your signal chain. So I'm very much a player that prefers to go straight from the guitar into an amp, into a speaker. So I don't really use, generally use a lot of pedals and stuff. But certainly when I've played live with the Covers band a couple of years or so ago, in fact I think I had put a couple of videos up about that. I had to, because I needed the versatility of loads of different sounds for all the different covers that we were doing. So yeah, I have used the Boss GT 100. I think getting out and gigging now, I would just be straight through the Dark Terror and perhaps put a reverb and something like that, maybe a reverb and a chorus, maybe one of the Sonic 8 pedals in the effects loop, just to give a little bit of reverb because it doesn't have it built in. But no, I'm not really a big user of effects, but I use that Crybaby Wah-Wah. The Dual Terror is a tiny terror on one side and the fat channel on the other. Oh, okay, cool, brilliant, brilliant. Oh, I lost a connection for a moment there. Did you lose any of the video? Did you miss anything? Did you all miss the announcement of the channel name? I'm only pulling your leg. You know I haven't done it yet. And in fact, it's blimey, it's 9:45. I should do that really. Let's quickly answer these questions. Iron Gear, great pickups. Love the Alchemist 90. Cool, thanks Chris. Sounds like a great amp, Mike. Thank you, Dale. Appreciate that. Johnny Bean, awesome. Those are great pickups. A lot of nice pickups coming out of England. Yes, there are indeed. The Sonic products sound good. Yeah, Sonic 8 are doing really, really well. Glad you like your Laney amp, Paramedic. Where do you play live? Haven't for a while. Desperate to play live. I think the next time I play live will be on this channel. And I think I'll do it over YouTube. Because I tell you what, we've had about 50 odd people and 47 currently watching this. It's a nice little pub gig, isn't it? And I was trying stuff out just on Wednesday this week with the guys from the band. Adam and Matt both came over and we had a bit of a jam out. And we were trying to use the R16 instead of the H4M, which I use for this during these live shows, and it had a funny noise behind it. So I'm going to get the X32 out here and see if that'll work so that we can perhaps broadcast a few live songs for you. Anyway, right, missed it, ha ha ha, still here. Crybaby Mini Wah, True Bypass. Yeah, cool, thanks James. Yeah, that's a good tiny little thing. I'm not sure if yeah, they are true bypass, but when they're in the signal chain, they do tend to colour it. Certainly the old ones do. I don't know about the new stuff. I'm going to say that what you're saying there with the Mini Wah is probably right, but these old, crikey, I don't know how old this is. You can probably tell me from the serial number. It is years old. This is at least 20 years old. But that really does colour the sound when it's switched off, and that's a real shame. Sound went out of sync a bit, but stream didn't go down. Is it back in sync now? I hope it's all good. Hey, BS Detective, good to see you, my friend. I think once a month play live in that room with special guests. I'm available. Hey, blues player. I can't remember where you said you're from. It might be a long journey, but you would always be most welcome, my friend. I'm always looking for people to collab with, and particularly people that have supported like you kindly have on my channel for so long. So yeah, if you're around, touch base, let's get together. Live stream gig would be awesome. Thanks, James. Yeah, I'll do that for sure. The guys, we had a little bit of a test. We were testing for the live stream tonight, and because I was going to play the guitar a little bit like Steve from Boston, only nowhere near as well. But I was going to get the guitar fixed up and rigged into this, but it didn't work out. So I've still got to work out how to do that. I'll probably get it done with the X32 at some stage. Right, once again, thank you for great attention you have for your followers. Hope you have a wonderful time at Guitcon. Thanks, Daniel. I really appreciate that. And I can't begin to say and express exactly how I do feel about you guys and girls, because it is you lot that have got me there. It's your fault. And I can't thank you enough, because it's all your support and all your kindness and subbing and continually watching my videos and commenting on it that's got me noticed. And it's nice to be noticed. I'm really flattered. I'm a tiny channel in terms of subscribers. I think I lost, or I lose, quite a few subscribers because I so heavily vet the comments on this channel. But as I said at the start of the video, I want it to be a clean place that anybody can come and watch without finding bad language and stuff like that. So I'm not sure that I've got a quantity, but I know for sure that I've got quality in subscribers, and it really does mean a great deal to me. So thank you all so much. Thank you, Dale. Glad it all looks in sync. Hey, Bobby from Toronto. Nice to see you. And Robert Thomas. Enjoy. It's a great opportunity. It certainly is. And I intend to make the very best of it, and I intend to do you all proud. That's why I want to get some ideas from you guys and girls over what content you'd like me to make while I'm over there. And once you know who else is going, then I'd really like to know some questions for people that you'd like me to ask. So I'm quite happy to ask anybody there any question that's clean and polite. I'm quite happy to ask anything you want to anybody else that's at Guitcon. So let me know. Anyway, look, the time is now nearly it's gone 10:45, and I think it's time for us to make the announcement. Don't you? Oh, bless you. Thanks, BS Detective. Look, you've earned it. That's why we watch you. I really... Cheers, man. Thank you very much. Okay. I think the time has come. I hope... Hi, Michael from Newcastle. I hope you're not disappointed. I have... Yeah, drum roll, please. I've got it all hooked up. In fact, there we go. It's all there behind me. Dale says, I hope there wouldn't be an issue with keeping your channel clean. No, there never has been. I've just been really careful to edit every single comment. I read every single one of your comments, and I try to reply to as many as ever I can, but I can't always reply to them all, so I'm sorry about that. I do my very best, but I do read every single comment because I edit them and, well, not edit them, sorry, I vet them, and only the polite ones get through. Anything that's unnecessary or unkind to anybody else, or swearing, I just take off. Okay, clean, yes, but we need a bit again. Love it, that's cool. Right, guys, here it comes for what it's worth, and I hope it's been worth the wait, and let's find out what we're going to be called going forward to Guitcon. So there it is. What can I say? I put it out there. I was quite happy to change it, and you guys voted in quite significant numbers, and I'm delighted to announce that we're going to stick with the name that I've developed and carried this channel for 5 years, and it is a keeper. Yeah, absolutely. Locking Nut. Hey, Locking Nut, how are you? Good to see you, my friend. I saw one of your videos. I think I commented the other day. Amazing. Really, really good playing you do out there. Thank you. Yeah, really quite happy. Paramedic says, cool, I like the name. Yeah. Yeah, it's a pretty strong identity. Yes, thanks, Lance. Yeah, if it isn't broken, don't fix it. Yeah, I wasn't disappointed. Let's say that. I was quite happy to change it if you guys wanted to change it. And it made a lot of sense considering that I'm not just reviewing Chinese guitars anymore. I'm doing all sorts of stuff on this channel. I want to take it in lots of different exciting directions to make it fun for you and for me. And but I'm quite happy with the name. I think it's what I'm known by. I had 2 guys come up to me at the Iron Maiden concert back in fact nearly a month ago now, and came up and said hello to me. They recognised me, and they were so sweet and so polite and so kind. It was lovely to meet them, and I think, you know, I can always be known. I'm generally known as CGS anyway. What do we got here? Cool, like the name, love it. It makes sense. It's a strong identity. Excellent. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, you are a skeptic of Chinese guitars. Yeah, I am. Pete says yay. Sticking with it, cool. Yep, what Lance said, barefoot mode. Well, I'm sure everyone appreciates being asked. The question is, are you happy? Yes, I am. I am, thank you. Yeah, I am. I came up with the name in the first place, and I never expected, I say this all the time, I never expected to have a YouTube channel that took off in any way, shape or form or was popular. And it's a whole shock and surprise to me. I set up to do one video to disprove loads of other videos showing people getting guitars from China. I didn't believe that I'd get one. I believed Steve in Boston, he was Pixie Licks at the time, he was a big influence on me, as was Dave in Texas. And they were what inspired me to make that first video. And when I got that PRS, not close copy, but it kind of just spiraled from there. But I like the name, and I'm quite happy to stick with it. And I'll drink to that. I'm getting there with the London Pride. What are we saying? Is JH in? Hey, JH, cool. Sticking with it, cool. Thanks, man. I appreciate that, brother. Yes, cool. R2, R3. Yeah, loved your playing. Really cool, man. I would have been a massive bum crack had you changed it. Well, I'm glad that you approve, BS Detective. I really am. I hope you all approve. Blues Plus is a great name. It's different, and that's why it works. JH, hey buddy, he says good choice. Well, I'm really pleased to be sticking with the name, to be perfectly honest. Terry. Terry's here. Hey, Terry. Hey, I thought you were a mod on my channel. Why are you not coming up with a spanner? We've got to put that right. I'll sort that out ready for the next video. Good to see you, my friend. Really good to see you. Yeah, I'm really, really pleased to get that out in public. I guess I've been putting it off a little bit because it seemed like a bit of an anticlimax, but I guessed it probably wouldn't be because the vast majority of you voted for that name. There were some real cool names put forward, and I wouldn't have minded being any of the last 3. And in fact, I've even thought about doing particular videos that work for those titles. So CGS does cool guitar stuff, or CGS comes up with a creative guitar solution, you know, because some of the pedals I'm trying out and some of the gear would certainly fit with that. So they could be little standalone video episodes in their own right. So nothing's wasted, everything's recycled. Yeah, I'm going to get Terry a spanner. I'll get Terry a spanner. I'm sorry, Terry. I thought you were a mod on my channel, but there we are. We'll make sure that happens for next time. I don't think I can risk my IT skills in trying to do that unless I can do it direct in the chat. Now watch me watch. Oh, look. Terry, say something. Terry, you're now blue and you've got a spanner, my friend. Good to see you, buddy. Blues Player says, I know you're a busy guy, but can you do a show every night? Oh, bless you. That's so sweet. That's really kind. If I had the time, do you know what? I would love to do this full time. I don't say that I don't like my job. I love my job. I'm not so keen necessarily on what the boss does all the time, but then who is keen on what their boss does all the time? But I'd love to do this full time, but that isn't gonna happen. Dale says over 50 watching but only 15 thumbs up. Let's hit that thumbs up. Hey guys, it's enough for me that you're here and watching, but if you want to give me a thumbs up, please do. It would be lovely. But no, it's cool that you're watching. Thanks very much. I appreciate it. Terry's got a spanner. Terry has got a spanner. So I agree with Dale. Get them thumbs up happening. Oh, thank you, Barefoot. Bellind asks what my day job is. I'm really, really careful, BE, to not release my own personal identity too much. There's good reason for that. The channel has been quite controversial in some ways in terms of the fact that I've been even showing fake guitars, even though I'm criticising them and warning people against them. I've had a lot of people, I think they're pretty much idle threats, but I've had a lot of people be quite negative and threatening. So I'm very careful with my identity. So all I can tell you is that in my day job, I do an awful lot of looking after everybody else and keeping them secure. Let's say that much. So it's, I don't want to go much more than that. I hope you don't mind. Lance Moss, hey, fell asleep, didn't know this was starting at 4 PM Eastern Standard Time. Okay, well, Terry, you're here now. Hey, that's cool, man. Wade McReynolds says, what are some Chinese sellers or manufacturers whose quality you can vouch for? It's not easy to find reliable opinions on here. Hey, yeah, well, look, I get asked more than any other question what Chinese seller I recommend, and I can answer that every single time exactly the same. I don't recommend any of them, because even the ones I've got a decent guitar from, and I've got a couple from them, they've always had their flaws, they've always had their moments. And what's more, when I go on to their storefront, all of them have negative feedback, and they all change their store name quite frequently. So none of them are really looking after people. So I would never recommend them, because there's never been any company that really looks after everybody. Even, I'm going to be cheeky now, but even Harley Benton I've heard have had a few issues. And if I was going to recommend any make or model of cheap Chinese or Far Eastern made guitar, it would be Harley's. Harley Benton have got the right idea. I thoroughly support what they're doing, giving people the guitars that they would like for a price that they can afford. So yeah, but I can't recommend any sellers out there. I'm really sorry. Hey, Baby Dan, good to see you. You're always commenting on my videos. It's really nice to see you on a live show. Have you used a 30 dB treble booster? No, I haven't. I've seen demos of them. What do you think of them? I could try and get hold of one to do a demo on. Really quite enjoy that. Richard Small says, always keep your own stuff private. I say keep YouTube separate from your personal life. Yeah, I've got 3 beautiful kids, and we are a very happy little family unit. That's a reason that I keep this channel clean, because I don't have to hide the channel from them, but I do kind of need to protect my family from the big wider web, the internet, because you never know who's out there. I'm just careful, and I think that's good advice. So that's a no on t-shirts and stickers with your channel name on then. No, it's not. If you want that, I can do that. That's no problem at all, Daniel. I thought about for some time. Oh, JC, take care, my friend. He's got to drop off. Nice to see you. Thanks very much for dropping in. And all the best to you as well, my friend. Yeah, I'm quite happy to put out, maybe put a Teespring thing out there. I've been umming and ahhing for months about Patreon since Jack Conti did that. Is it Jack Conti, the CEO of Patreon, did that thing with Casey Neistat? I thought, there's a cool guy, and it made me look into Patreon a bit closer. I thought that it was begging. I really did. I thought that it's not a cool thing to do, but then I found out what it is, and the fact that it is totally at your viewer and subscriber discretion, and the fact that people have the choice to do whatever they want to contribute. I'm nowhere near the size of channel that can give up and do this full time, and I don't necessarily think I ever will be. Who knows? But I would love to do more of this, and I'm quite happy to do t-shirts, and yeah, I'm thinking about those sort of things. In fact, I think I'm the only YouTuber going to Guitcon this year that hasn't got Instagram, that hasn't got Facebook, because it was taken away from me. So ignore that Facebook page, because it was me, but it's now out of my control. I have got Twitter, but I very rarely use it. I don't have a Patreon. I don't have a shop or a store. I don't have t-shirts. But if you, there's a few of you here saying, you know, BluesPlayer59 said you'd have a t-shirt for sure. Well, maybe I'll do that. If that's something that you guys want, you know, I'll always do what I can for you. Belen says, I have one of the Bad Cat branded Les Paul copies, and it's excellent. Do you know what? Jason sent me that Love Pup, which was a joke. I only put it out there as a joke when I beat the Gibson lawyers, and it was kind of a polite, cheeky little thumbing of the nose to the Gibson lawyers. But Jason J, who is Bad Cat, Shengzi, I think they're called now, saw that video and sent me a Love Pup. I've done an unboxing somewhere on my channel. There's one of the video is there. And I found the Bad Cat wasn't too bad. And certainly Jason was the guy that I did the video on, Meet a Chinese Seller. I did. And some people thought he was a bit disingenuous, but I found him to be quite a reasonable guy. And I'm still in contact with him from time to time. He asked me to help promote Shengzi guitars when they changed from Bad Cat to Shengzi. And I explained to him that I don't promote anything that I can't guarantee the quality on. I offered to partner with him and have some guitars sent through me into the UK market that I could check, but I wasn't going to promote him. But Bad Cat, yeah, not bad. The one that I had, and I'm glad that your Les Paul copy's good. And I guess it's Bad Cat branded rather than Shengzi. Baby Dan says, I have ones I make here. I can send you on loan to try. Cool. Let's do that. That'd be great. That'd be really cool. Are you in the UK, Baby Dan? Because I will touch base with you over email, and maybe we can make that happen. That'd be really great. Thank you very much. BluesPlayer59. Oh, you've already said you'd have a t-shirt. Chris Lawton says, what do you think about Chinese-made Tokais? I really like the look of the UALC60. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you here, my friend, Chris. I haven't seen that. I desperately want to do a demo of my buddy Andy's white Japanese-made Tokai. I want to say Japanese. He bought it around the same time as I got my Aria Pro 2 RS Wildcat back in the 80s. And it's a nice guitar. It's a lovely guitar. He brought it around the other night and was going to leave it with me, but his boy is learning to play the guitar, and I said, look, I'll work out one to swap over for a while so that he doesn't have to stop practicing, because he's really keen. He's my godson, so I don't want to nick his guitar off him. But I'll try and do a review of that, because it's really nice. I put a new volume pot in it for him the other day. He hasn't played it properly since about 1987, so it's eased up a bit. But yeah, I certainly like the Japanese-made Tokais, and I'd be really interested to try one of the Chinese. Thank you, Wade. That's really kind. Yeah, It's an absolute pleasure, my friend. It would be great contest to do a design by your followers. What do you think? Do you mean a t-shirt design? Yeah, absolutely. If you guys want to send me some t-shirt designs, I would be well up for that. That's no problem at all. Send them through. We'll put it to the vote if there's more than one. Even if there's only one, I'll get one made and wear it. And if people like it, then we'll perhaps stick it on Teespring or something. What do we got? We've got Jay Coulter. Hey, how you doing, buddy? From Ohio, US. Sorry I missed you when I was in town. Looking forward to your Guitcon stuff. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, I'm really sorry that I missed you while you were over in the UK. It would have been really cool to hook up. But maybe, who knows, maybe one day I'll be in Ohio or you'll come back over. Let's get that happening at some stage. Belen says, I bought the bad cat after seeing the Love Pup. Oh, right, cool. Well, I'm glad that you ended up with a decent guitar. It was a bit of a dice roll, but I'm really pleased that it was good for you. So that's cool. Darren Bryant says, is the Harley Benton 1x12 worth the money? I've not tried the 1x12, but I have to say that the 2x12 is absolutely awesome. And it's got the V30s in it, the vintage 30s. And they are really nice. And what that cab does is it switches between mono and stereo. And if you turn it into stereo, it's 16 ohm rather than 8. And both speakers work independently. So what I have been doing is I've been putting the Tiny Terror through one side and the Dark Terror through the other and miking them up. And it sounds great. So if the 1x12 sounds anything like one of those channels going through the 2x12, which it probably won't given the volume, as in space volume inside the cab, but certainly if you get vintage 30s in the Harley Benton cab, they're fantastic value. So worth a try, give it a try. I might try one myself. Baby Dan, oh, you're from Birmingham, cool. I was in Birmingham about a month and a half ago. I wish I'd caught up with you, and I think Paramedico is in Birmingham as well. So I really wish I had managed to catch up with you there. Sugar Matt's got to go. Hey Matt, take care, mate. Catch up with you soon. Hopefully we'll see you next week. I've just realised who you are, Sugar Matt. Cool. Thanks for watching, man. Blues Player, do you think the internet is killing high street music shops? I think the internet is killing all high street shops, and music shops are no different. Certainly anything you need for the guitar nowadays you can get online. And I often say this, it's a bit of a bugbear of mine. It's a real shame, because the one thing with musical instruments is it is so much better to go and get your hands on them and play them. All these guitars I've bought from China are unique in one respect, in difference to any other guitar I've ever bought. And that is that every guitar that I've bought, other than the Chinese, I've been to the shop and played it. And I've picked up the guitar that I liked, because you create a personal relationship with that piece of wood, and it's got to feel right, and it's got to feel right for you to play. So yeah, it's a real shame, but yeah, I do think the internet is killing high street music shops, which is a shame. Richard, I have 2 Chinese made Groat guitars and they're pretty good quality for the price. Yeah, cool. A lot of people have talked to me about Groats. I've got a feeling that I can't get hold of one in the UK, but correct me if I'm wrong. I'd be really keen to... I've seen a few demos on them, and they look a little more expensive, but it seems like they're worth the extra money, because it seems that they put good time and effort into the quality control. So, yeah, I've not played one, so I can't really comment any further than that, but I've heard good things. Have you seen any of the new Harley Benton Fusion guitars? I haven't, but I know for a fact that I'm going to. This time next month in Germany, I'll be seeing some of those, because they'll have them there. Have you tried any vintage brand guitars? Yes, I have, at a music store. I haven't bought any, and oh, man, quite a long time ago. Just trying to think of the model that I tried. I can't remember. It was quite a way ago. And in fact, it was the same guitar store I went to yesterday to see LT Custom Guitars. And that's fairly local to me. So I did try one, but yeah, I'm not certainly not an expert on them. definitely will be back. Cool. Well, when you come to the UK next time, Jay Coulter, 43, give me a shout with a bit of notice and perhaps we can hook up somewhere for a drink. BS Detective, the best Les Paul I have is made by Honor, and it's so close to the real thing, if not better. Yeah, do you know what? That's pretty cool. A lot of them are. Like a kite, when you fly away, I'll say cheerio. So terrible, that's a dad joke, isn't it? But thanks for stopping in, Fly Like a Kite, and good night to you. Take care. So yeah, going back to that, there seems to be a lot less love in the room for Gibson these days. I haven't released or done a video for this on the most expensive or overpriced guitars survey that I did, but it wouldn't surprise you how high up on the list Gibson come, and there are a lot of copies out there. And what you have to remember is that copying is the highest form of flattery. So when it comes to that, I think Gibson's got a pretty big monopoly. Everybody seems to want to make themselves a Gibson. So yeah, and certainly Honor have put out some decent guitars. A lot back in the 80s, I played a Les Paul copy by them, but it was a bolt-on neck. They were imported by JHS, John Hornby Skews, into the UK, and I tried one of those. In fact, I had a black one of those, and it's one of the very, very few pieces of kit or guitar that I no longer have. The guitar I was talking to you about earlier, Bastard, that was made out of a bar top, I lent to somebody and never got back. But I think the Honor I gave away to somebody that didn't have a guitar that was interested in starting to learn. Probably wasn't the biggest of favours because it wasn't a great guitar. But if you had a through neck BS Detective, then yeah, and if it's made to that style, then I'm sure it was a great guitar. And you've still got it by the looks of it. Cool. Well, I'm pleased for you. That's wicked. Belen says, what's happening with Milton Guitars? I sort of did that a little bit earlier. I've put that on the back burner because I didn't get any joy going to various other countries. I went to India. I looked at Korea and a few other Far Eastern places that I was sent details for by a few friends on here, and I didn't really get any joy. I needed to order an awful lot, and the whole premise and the whole idea of Milton Guitars was to give an alternative to the fakes, because it's no good me saying to people, look, don't buy fakes, when I didn't have something to say this is the alternative. But I had said earlier that I think that Harley Bentons are certainly the budget end range of guitars that I would suggest people go for in place of the fakes, because you can get them cheaper and they're better quality controlled, and they're looked after. Have I played any of the lower priced Harley Bentons? Yeah, absolutely. In fact, the little acoustic, the GS Mini travel guitar, this was classified as a decorative guitar. So this wasn't even a B stock, and yet you've heard it in the videos, and I still play it. Well, look, it's got the tuner on it, and I've been playing it just before I came live. So yeah, I do think that a lot of the budget range of Harley Bentons are really good, and they seem to have a decent attention to sort of detail that we need. I'm going to have to think about wrapping it up soon, folks, because it's pretty hot out here, and I've been up a tree today cutting stuff, and I have to be perfectly honest, at 10:15, I'm starting to get a little bit knackered. Not to mention, I want to finish this beer that I haven't quite got down to the bottom of. I'll take a few more questions. Particularly, I would love you to give me some questions via chinaguitarskeptic@gmail.com. any questions that you want me to ask anybody or any of the companies or any of the guitar players that end up going there at Guitcon, because I want to make sure that I get your questions in there for you. And also, I'm going to be going to the UK guitar show up in Olympia at the end of September, and I'm going to go with my buddy Dave Barlow from Dave Barlow Guitar. So if any of you are going up there, let me know, because I'm quite happy to hook up, say hi to you in person. It's always great to meet some of you guys, and just have a chance to say hello, like I did at Iron Maiden with Matt and Mike. Okay, last few questions then. Thinking about a Fender Richie Kotzen Telly, any thoughts? Oh, loving. Hey, for a guitar player, and remembering back into the 80s and 90s, I think it was early 90s that he came out as like on Shrapnel and Shred and all that sort of stuff. But for a wicked guitar player, what a voice has Richie Kotzen got. Man, I was watching, I've forgotten the name of his band. It's not the Winery Dogs, is it? No, is that, that's Paul Gilbert, isn't it? Anyway, I was watching his band the other day on YouTube, and I'm thinking, wow, man, you can sing. So yeah, in terms of the telly, yeah, I love the look of that telly, and it's pretty unique in its configuration as well. So yeah, go for that, Thomas. Like that. BS Detective, the Honor LX 250G was the bolt-on neck, which I have, but the other one is neck through. Cool. I bet the neck through one is your favourite one. The bolt-on for me didn't quite have the transfer and resonance through, so yeah, that's cool, man. That looks great. I think that was probably when I had the GS Mini out. Sean Pierce Johnson, I didn't know Harley Benton made GS Mini style guitar. Looks great. Yep, they do, and it's a lovely guitar to play. I've got relatively small hands. Doesn't mean anything. But I find it really easy to play. That scale length is really cool, and what you find is that you can do the bend on that small acoustic guitar that you can get on an electric, and that's really liberating, especially going away traveling, because it means you can play all your electric style stuff as well. So yeah, amazing little guitar. Richard Small, yeah, I love Dave Barlow's guitar channel as well. That's why I met up with him and invited him to collaborate with me, and he's a lovely guy as well. Really like the guy. Haven't seen enough of him, but I think you're going to see more of him on my channel and more of us doing stuff together, because we got on like a house on fire when I met him, and he's just as I try to be. He's a really straight talking, 100% honest, down to earth guy, and I just think he's a great guy. He's good company. Blues player, how good are the Roswell pickups? Yes, I have to say the ones in the Harley Benton SC450 are spot on. They're really nice. I've done a video demo of that compared to Greenie Moore 2, which had the best set of pickups bar none from China that I ever had, but still the Roswell seems to beat that hands down. Let me know what you think if you have a look at that video. Will they feed back under a load and go microphonic? No, they don't. They're really controllable. Anyway, really enjoyed the show tonight. Thank you, my friend. Really appreciate that. Regards, Art in Shildon, County Durham. Cool, my friend. Real cool. And I meant what I said. If you want to catch up and do something together, a collab or something, or if you go into the guitar show, the UK guitar show at Olympia at the end of the month, give me a shout and we'll catch up. Sean Pierce Johnson, that Richie Kotzen telly is great, but the neck is crazy big. Yeah, it's a taste thing. It's a taste thing. Great show. Good night, Paul. Thanks, my friend. BS Detective, bolt on, much better action than the through neck. Yeah, well, the thing is that you can shim it. You can do all sorts of things to change the angle of a bolt-on neck, which you can't, of course, do with a through neck or a set neck guitar. So they've got that flexibility. Winery Dogs. It is Richie Kotzen's band. Excellent. Thank you for clarifying that, Bellind. Yeah, Mike Portney and Billy Sheehan. That's right. Amazing, though. It absolutely blew me away how good Richie Kotzen's voice is. He's just got this real raspy blues tone, and it's just I just really love it. So yeah, cool. Very cool. My wife has a GS Mini and I'm often stealing it for a quick shred session. Good man. Always worth stealing something off the missus for a shred session. And Dale, I see how that could be an advantage of a significant other playing guitar. I could buy mine a cool guitar. Yes, you should. Yeah, buy your missus a guitar for you to play. I like that idea very much. Okay, guys, I've got pretty much to the end of your comments. So if Harley Benton are at Guitcon, you should get them to send you some of their guitars for demos. Yeah, I think let me have a little drop of this quickly. The Harley Benton demos have been pretty done to death recently. Although I've done quite a few myself, there's so many videos of them out there, and I think most people are being quite positive about them. I'd do as many more as you guys want me to do. I'll be perfectly honest. If you want me to get some sent over, I'm pretty sure I can arrange that. But I'll certainly be playing some out at Guitcon, and I'm more than happy to do any reviews of guitars that you want me to get hold of. But yeah, I think it's not a very unique, and I'm trying to head my channel towards doing stuff that's quite unique that most other people aren't doing. It was great to get the jump start. I think I was only the second video on YouTube of the Britwind, and only the second or third of the Black Hammer, the Sonic Ache one. I'm looking to do stuff that people haven't done, and the Harleys seem to be done to death. So there we go. Chris, thanks very much. Really appreciate that. Thank you. Glad you enjoyed the show, and thanks for the kind words. Enjoy the rest of my weekend. And really appreciate that as well. I'm glad that you think that the content is wicked on this channel. It means a great deal to me. Thanks, my friend. BS Detective, I got a Jeep Jack Telecaster. Going to do a Rossi on it. Wish me luck with the bridge. Good luck with that. Try out some of the Fusion range. Yes, I'm hoping that when we're over in Germany, I'll get a chance to try some of those Harley Benton Fusion range. Thanks, BS Detective. Great show as usual. Very professional, mate. You're a diamond geezer. Thank you. And Hugh says, CGS certified Guitcon superstar. I love it, man. That's wicked. And thanks to you as well, Richard. I think with that comment, Hugh, you have just pretty much closed the show for me. So thanks, James. Thanks, Richard. Thanks everybody else that's been in tonight. Thank you to Lance Moss and my good buddy Peter, and also to Terry Latterly for modding the comments tonight. And I've really enjoyed this. I always forget when I'm doing a live show just how much I enjoy doing them because of the immediate interaction with you. So if you'd like me to, I'll try and do a few more. Maybe I'll even do a live show from Guitcon. Let's think about that. Thank you all so much. And I'm going to write that down. CGS, certified Guitcon superstar. Thanks, my friend. You all take good care, and good night to you all.